Scott Reid is standing by, political commentator here at CTV and former communications director to Prime Minister Paul Martin. Good to see you as always. What's the number one issue for these two men, Scott, when Joe Biden and Justin Trudeau meet?
The economy. It's got to be the economy. What's the number one priority at minimum, I guess, that I would put it that way, that the Prime Minister needs to carry into the meeting? It is economics. It's jobs and growth. It's the future industrial strategy that surrounds issues in sectors like electric vehicles and their construction, like semiconductors. These are all things that the American president is putting not just tens, but hundreds of billions of dollars behind. And we need to be part of that circle. We need to be part of that supply system that will supply jobs and growth and economic prosperity for Canada as well as the United States for decades. We can't be locked out of that. So there are enormous issues that are on the docket today that are capturing headlines, like issues about Chinese interference, issues like defense, issues like softwood lumber. But if I'm Trudeau, I want to be seen as being a strong and clear and successful advocate for Canada's economic interests with the United States.
How about the immigration issue, and particularly that border crossing at Roxham Road? I mean, the Quebec government saying, look, we can't handle this. So, 40,000 people crossing over from other countries via the U.S. This is unsustainable. We know that that's going to be front and center too, hoping to come up with some kind of a deal between Canada and the U.S. to stop that from happening or mitigate the surge of people. Scott.
I'm really curious about this issue and what will come of it this couple of days. And the reason I say that is the government, I mean, in anticipation of a visit, when you've got a hot issue like that, and this issue is blazing white hot in the province of Quebec in particular, which of course is instrumental to the Prime Minister and the government's re-election hopes. So it's a huge priority. But you generally want to lower expectations, not raise expectations of a breakthrough. Yesterday, they seem to be raising expectations. The immigration minister seemed to be hinting that possibly there's some potential deal or bargain or process in play. So I'll be watching that keenly because it is important, but it's not that important to America. And so, you always have to ask yourself, all right, we might want something, but why is it in their interest to do it? What's in it for the United States? Why would they want to be helpful on that issue? And that, to me, is still a bit of a question mark.
So what's the best case scenario here for Justin Trudeau, do you think?
Well, first of all, it would be great to get 48 hours of pure and utter distraction from the political challenges at home. You're just reporting on the loss of an MP, due to an uncorroborated story. The Chinese interference issue lingers on. The calls for a public inquiry, the refusal to call a public inquiry, at least initially and at least right now. So a little bit of breathing space from all of that. And then again, I think, a couple of concrete deliverables so people can say, I see, they actually came away with something in hand. But then all those important processes that people might find boring and forget about 3 weeks from now, but that push American and Canadian policymakers to deliver down the road. I can remember we met when I was working for the Prime Minister with President Bush. We talked about softwood lumber. It led to a process that took 9 months. But it was a breakthrough. It just wasn't a breakthrough that was visible that day. I'll be looking to see where they plant seeds that might grow in the future.
Thanks for this, Scott. Much appreciated as always.
Thank you.